Okay? So let's make sure that they follow the rules, they follow the Constitution, or tell them to get out of our house and get a real job. Thank you. They can see what the world's really like.
Good evening, everyone. So how's it been going? Cold? It feels kind of like winter weather, doesn't it? Almost like a blizzard. I won't speak that, though. I won't say it. I won't say it. JD, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for allowing me to come and hang out with you guys for a while. I have, let's see, how do I say this? I don't actually work for the high school, but I work with the high school. And there are a couple, 3 groups that I direct, music groups that I direct. And one of the groups that I work with is the vocal jazz, their vocal jazz, the jazz choir. And so I was there right as Julie was calling me, just, Ron, where are you? We're waiting. And I was there with them practicing. And we got done, jumped in my car, and I'm running out to the rally, man. I'm running right out to the rally. That's first thing on my agenda, right? 6:30 in the evening. We're going to 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock? We're 8:30. I thought you said 3:30 for a second. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, 3:30. Yeah, and I'm thinking 3:30 a.m., man. That's a real party. That's when things start. See some friends out there. Good to see you guys. Hey, man, singer. He should be singing for us tonight. He's amazing, amazing singer. And when I was asked about what I wanted to share with you guys, I'm going to be honest with you and let you know that this is all really, really new for me. I mean, I'm talking months old, 2 months, 3 months, 3 months old. And, but I saw JD's picture on Facebook, your profile picture, and I loved it. Is there anybody here who's part of Facebook and you're friends with JD and you've seen that picture of the Federal Reserve Bank and he's got the flag there, and the look on his face is just determined, And I thought, I don't know a thing about him, but that's a guy I want to meet. That's a guy I want to get to know. Those are the kinds of people that I want to associate with, because you're guilty by association, aren't you? Aren't we? I mean, won't they lump you in with that group when they saw you with that guy, with those groups doing that kind of thing? And I've decided he's the kind of guy that I like to hang out with. What I want to share with you about tonight, I think it's a perspective that, as I'm looking around, I am uniquely qualified to share on, and that's being black in Aberdeen. You don't see. There might be some closet Afro-American somewhere around here that I don't see, but that's a topic that I probably can share with about. But more importantly, what this movement means as an African American. First of all, let me talk to you about what it's like to be an African American, just born here in America. This is my home. This is my country. I would fight for this country. I would die for this country. More importantly, I think I would like to live for this country. I walk into a room. I walk into a room, and immediately I can feel the atmosphere change. Immediately you can think change. Now you might think that I'm over exaggerating and that I'm being hypersensitive, but I'm telling you, I've noticed it. I've walked in, I'm like, okay, what just happened? Everybody got really quiet. Were you guys talking about me? Right? I mean, am I paranoid? When I go to the Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'm just picking on Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't have anything against Kentucky Fried Chicken. You probably couldn't tell this by looking at me, but I love Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay? So I walk into a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I get poultry pieces of meat. I don't get any eye contact. I don't get a thank you, sir, for patronizing our business. I don't get any kind of service. And I walk away going, okay, now, was that just because that worker was incompetent? Or is that because that worker is biased? Are you feeling me? Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't ever quite know for sure. I'm talking to you about what it means to be a black American, and I'm going somewhere with this. I think I only have a few minutes, right? How much time do I have? 30, 45 minutes, 2 hours. Listen, you guys, I want to warn you guys that what I do for a living, I'm actually a full-time evangelist. I travel, so I am a preacher. So if you want me to go short, you have to say 30 seconds. Then I'll go about 15 minutes. If you say 15 minutes, we could be here all day. All right? So you have to be very, very careful about that. So I walk into the Kentucky. Am I being paranoid? Did I get bad service because of the color of my skin? These are things that I think about every day. Every day. Whites are 75% less likely. Now listen to what I'm saying. Whites are 75% less likely to attribute a positive characteristic to a black face. 75%. It has to be earned. Now, I happen to think that should be the case with everyone, right? You earn it. But 75% of the time, if you put a black face in front of a white person and you put a list of characteristics, 75% of the time, they will choose a negative characteristic. This is what it means to be black in America. The reason I mention that is because the Tea Party movement, from everything that I have seen so far, is a very homogenous movement. And I want you guys to know something. I hope that I don't offend you here today. If I do offend you, I hope it offends you into action, into proaction. The reason that's important to me is because as an educated, I like to consider myself relatively intelligent. There would be those who would debate you on that issue, but I like to consider myself relatively intelligent. Certainly I'm educated. Certainly I consider myself a professional black man. I find myself very much so on the conservative line of things. I'm glad you like that, because I have to share with you that I am just about the only educated black person I know who feels that way about this movement. I have 3 sisters who think that I am an Uncle Tom for doing this today. I have gotten scathing emails. I've gotten phone calls with messages left on my phone. And I just want to go my sisters, and I just want to shake them. Don't judge what you don't understand, is what I want to tell them. And my admonishment to this movement, to this part, to what we're doing here, is that if we're going to achieve ultimate success, if this thing is, now listen, I have never let anybody dictate to me how I'm going to live. I've never let anybody tell me. That's why I wade against the stream. You should see it, you guys. When I have a good friend right now who's a music teacher, and this gentleman, when we first met, he loved to talk to me about certain agendas, about the abortion issues. I mean, things like that, because he just assumed that because I am a black man, that I am liberal, and that I'm good with all that. And, of course, I had to set him straight very early on, because, you really have to learn not to judge a book by its cover. I almost said a book by its color. Well, that's true. But you really have to not judge a book by its cover, because I won't do it for you here today, but I can actually do the full splits. I don't think I can do it here today, but I can almost do it. I won't do it yet. Everything goes falling over and I go crashing down, so I won't do it. But to look at me, you would never think that a guy, would be able to do that. So we don't judge a book by its cover. And this gentleman, because I am African American, just assumes I'm liberal, and I have to set him straight right away on the issues. Listen, I don't want any more taxes. I'm just telling you that right now. Listen, government and my sisters, they're like, Ron, what is your problem with all this? This is a good thing. This will help us. Look, they complained when this happened, and look how good that's been. They complained when this happened. And I said, stay out of my business. Leave me the heck alone. And they don't understand it. They don't get it.